standing in 2026, looking into the next generation, what can we say success looks like?
And more importantly, how do you take raw creativity and turn it into real sustainable value?
This is On the Edge podcast, and my name is Jordan Ebong.
And I'm Sophia. Today we're going to be breaking down creativity, success, and finance, and what all of that means for a young builder.
No holding back, let's get into it. Hey there, it's Jordan Ebong, and I want to officially welcome you to the first episode for On the Edge podcast here on YouTube or whatever platform that you're watching on. This has been a dream that's finally coming true. For the longest of times, I've had to build content on different platforms, Spotify for podcasters, moving over to Instagram, trying to put something together, and I am finally here. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Jordan Ebong. I am a creative director and an EA, and I love everything that has to do with creativity. The crux of things, I'm a builder. I'm generically a builder, and I love to see how I can impact the environment around me by, just literally throwing insights into one or two things that has to do with the young person growing, establishing himself in the world, and putting things together generally. So I'm that fun guy, I'm that creative guy, and today I bring you something special. So, on the Edge podcast, something that we're putting together just to ensure that we're able to gather a certain level of value from young people doing something around the community or the world in general and push it out there for you. And today on the first episode, I have a very, very special guest in the studio today. So for those of you who do not know, I want to officially welcome the African woman to the first episode of On the Edge podcast. I have with me Sophie.
Hi guys.
Her name is actually Sophia, but then I like to call her Sophie. And I hope mom is not watching this, but that's okay.
I think for me, nicknames have never stuck. So you probably will get tired at some point and just call me Sophia.
Off the top of your head, what is the worst nickname you have had?
Sophia, like F-I-R-E, like S-O-F-I-R-E.
Sophia.
Yeah.
What inspired that, and who gave you that name?
I have no idea, man. I'm like, just call me Sophia. It's actually it's easier. It has less syllables.
I'm tempted to say Sophia the first, but okay.
That one is a very popular second. I'm telling you the honest truth. It's not even the same, guys. Rest.
If you compare the temperament and the characters of Sophia the First, and do you guys?
Nothing like that.
But I mean, she's a princess. She's more of a modern. Okay, not a
Stop
modern,
that.
But she's more of an entrepreneur. She's building something generally.
Oh my
God. Okay, Sophia. Hi guys, I have Sophia with me, and today we're going to be talking about creativity, finance, and success. What it means for the modern day builder from 2026. Okay, so Sophia, could you go ahead and just pitch yourself to the audience generally?
Pitch myself?
Yeah, just tell us what you do and who you are,
But then that's not pitching myself now, is it?
Just tell them who you are. Just let them know who you are.
Hi guys, welcome to On the Edge with Jordan. My name is Sophia, and it's actually such a pleasure to be the first guest. You get Nami the open door in that sense, right? So
Sophia the First.
Stop it. Okay, so my name is Sophia, and I think at the very core of my being is one singular word that I always love to use, which is impact, right? So you see it across all the multiple things that I'm building.
Yeah.
I lead a non-profit focusing on education equity advocacy, right? For underserved children in Nigeria for now. But I mean
for
Africa
yeah.
to the world, right? I also lead a community of non-profits, founders, and people who play in the social impact space. So we one of the fastest growing networks of non-profit, people who are building in the non-profit space in the Southeast. And basically what we do there is do a lot of work around closing the knowledge gap.
Yeah.
A lot of people have passion, but they don't have knowledge.
Knowledge.
Yes, to take. You think you're running an organization is beans until you actually want to build something sustainable, right? Yes. And then I also have a company. I started a company, Green Panda Agro.
That one I know.
We are an agro processing company. So basically, what we do is we work with smallholder farmers to, take raw produce and make it finished products, and then we do a lot of exporting as well, exportation. So yes, I hope. I mean, is that enough pitch?
It's enough pitch. And
Okay.
I just feel that generally you've taken over the show. I mean, I just said I'm a creative director. That's all I said. And she's literally stolen the show, with all that you're doing.
Nah.
And all. But I think as we progress, don't worry, I would rub a little bit of my, generally. So Sophia, we're young founders.
Yes.
Generally, I run El Yardin, which is a clothing brand I'm building generally, and I want to focus on. I want to brand founders and entrepreneur in terms of what you wear.
Okay.
I want who you say you are to look and reflect in what you wear generally.
Okay.
So I've had this thing where I've tested over time and I've seen how walking into a room looking like who you say you are has a lot to do with the mental perception people see you for generally. So I'm building something along that line with a strict target audience for founders or builders or people generally who are doing something generally, okay? Yeah. And we're young founders, we're people who are building in 2026. And I think the first question I have up the top of my head is looking ahead from where we are now in 2026, where a lot of things have changed. AI is reaching the highest that it could possibly reach. There are a lot of opportunities that are opening on a global scale, on a local scale, from being from a country in Africa where there are not a lot of opportunities. We have been taught by the circumstances that we face to create opportunities for ourselves and all. What is success looking like in the next 5 years for a young builder like ourselves?
Okay, so anytime I talk about success, it's usually very interesting because I have kind of like a different perspective
of success.
Yes, than what majority of young people have as their definition for success. But I think for me, the ultimate success is or should be measured by who you become, right?
Okay.
In anything that you do. So I have a community of young ladies that I mentor, and I always tell them that, when you're thinking about success, even when you want to get a mentor and you're considering success, it's not necessarily in how much that you have, but who you've become in getting that. So for example, even when you decide to set a goal, you set a goal and you do that goal because you want to become the person who can do that goal.
Interesting.
Right? If I say, I want to, let's say, save $1 million, I would save $1 million because I want to be disciplined. I want to be, if I say, okay, let me break it down. If I want to save $1 million in a year, and I say, I need to save maybe 2,000 naira every day. Or 3,000 naira every day. I want to be able to do that every single day.
Consistently.
Yes, because I want to be someone who is consistent. Do you understand? Yeah. And then knowing that as I now do the consistent things, I will now still end up saving that amount of money or doing that amount of thing. So if I say, yes, success for me is when you meet a young person who is resilient, when you meet a young person who is proactive, when you meet a young person who is visionary just by, what's it called now? Just by your ability to look into the future, and you're asking, literally, in the next 50 years, in the next 60 years, in the next five years, which was what the question said, who can I become? Do you understand? It's not necessary. It's not just about what can I do. It must be who can I become first. Do you understand? As you pursue who you can become, then you start to figure out what you can do.
What you can do.
Yes, and then you're going, on that journey, because every single thing that we do is making us. Do you get? If let's say you start a business, but you're a very poor boss, you're still just a very poor boss. I don't really care how much money you have. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You're still a very weak boss, a very terrible, terrible, terrible boss. So I think for me, success should be more through the lens of who do I want to become, right? Who am I?
Yeah.
You get that thing alone brings you peace. There's a kind of peace that comes from knowing this is who I'm becoming.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah.
understand? So even if you're working in customer care, you know that this is who I'm becoming. So this is why I will be diligent with this little one that I have now. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Up until the time that I start mine, do you get, and go on to, to employ other people, or, to do other stuff. So yeah.
Okay, from everything you said, it just popped up in my head that the road to success is a path of becoming,
Yes.
or is a pathway of becoming.
Exactly.
Generally, that's a very, very unique way to put it. Generally, I think looking at it from my own lens, a successful person is somebody who is able to, in the midst of everything, replicate what you've done. So if success to you is measured in how much you have, which is not ideally a good measurement, I would see it as the ability to consistently be on that level and replicate it no matter what happens, which stems from a place of who you have become in the process. So I've stretched myself to be able to save up #1,000,000. I will be able to do that consistently.
Yes, consistently.
And that defines success for me.
Exactly.
Amazing.
Exactly.
Amazing. The next 5 years. So in the next 5 years, who you become equals a measure of success you have attained, or equals success.
It should be like the crux, like the fundamental. Yes.
Who are we becoming? I mean, the next 5 years is going to be 2031.
Okay.
If I'm correct. Who are we, the young African youth, the young Nigerian youth? Who are we? What kind of people or persons are we becoming in the long run? When you look at the things that we're facing currently, and the current the current state of things generally in the creative industry, in the building industry, in every frame of life you can see, what kind of person are we, or people are we becoming in the next 5 years?
Okay, so I think that, I mean, would I call it like a general POV?
Okay.
In some sort of way, is to, or the most predominant mindset you find now is with the quick kind of, and again, it points to that omitting the becoming, right? With that quick sense of, I want to make money, I want to make money now. I want to blow, and I want to blow now. Are there times that such things can align, and there's this kind of combustive announcement of young people? Absolutely, yes. But it shouldn't take away the series of processes, right? Yes, that leads to that particular, point. So I think that the kind of people that we should think of becoming, like I tried to list before, we should, as a generation, should want to be people who are resilient. I heard the perfect definition of resilience from Leila Homozi. Do you know Alex Homozi's wife? So she described, resilience in such a very beautiful way. So she said that this is baseline. Right? This is baseline. You're good here. Right? And then something happens in your life, your business, your career, whatever, that seeks to bring you down, and maybe sometimes even takes you up. Do you understand? But resilience is, how quickly do I get back to
where I am?
Baseline. Yes. How quickly do I get? And she gave an example. She was like that one time like that, a staff member came and gave her very terrible news. Do you understand? Very terrible. And she could see that the person was panicking, right? And then she was like, obviously she cursed. Do you get? And then she was like that. But then the next thing, in like 5 minutes, she was like, okay. So like, what's the next step?
How do we move from here?
How do we move from here? Exactly. So I think you actually can measure resilience in how long does it take me to get back to.
Now I understand you.
Yes.
Now I understand you.
How long does it take me to get back to baseline? So even if something spectacular, so you can see someone in the creative industry, and I've had situations like that. So maybe the guy charges, let's say, 50,000 naira for a video. And then a company from outside the country, reaches out to them and then offers them maybe 10,000. Our budget is 10,000. They're like, wow, they've never seen that kind of money before. Dollars now. Stop that. right? And they've never seen that kind of money before, right? And then they now think that, okay, yes, this is what I should now be charging everybody. Do you get? But so it's how quickly you come back
that's
to
a tempting place to be. Actually.
Yeah, it's how quickly you can come back to baseline. That shows you how resilient you are.
Yeah.
Right. So we should want to be a more staying generation. I've seen a lot of young people who the moment it looks difficult once, or let's say the second time, you've done what you've that's the end. Maybe this is not my path. But we don't stick with things. That is the what's it called? That's the grammar that I would use. We don't have staying power. And I think that is something that our fathers and our mothers had. The ability to stick with, obviously there's also the place of wisdom to know when to change. When to pivot, right, into something entirely different. But we do not have staying power. We're not committed to say, okay, yes, I want to do every single thing that I can to make this vision. We have people who worked on businesses for 10 years before their breakthrough started to come out, right? So I feel like in the next 5 years, we should aspire to be a more, in that sense, like the generation that has gone ahead of us.
The generational talk, I'd love to address it from a part where we know and we understand that timing is a bit different.
Yes.
Now, I think since after COVID, we've entered a generation where everything is needed fast.
Yes.
If you have a tax that ideally before 2020 could have been done in a week, now you want it done in 2 days.
Yes.
The question is, how do we balance that influx of time? Because things are generally working speedily. I mean, the globalization or the public push of AI generally now, when I could edit a script in 2 days, and now in 2 minutes I can get it done. And so every employee, every client out there is running in this fast-paced world that we are generally. And the thing is, it's not getting any slower.
True.
That's just the truth. It's not getting any slower. I mean, 10 years ago, in the times of probably our parents or our senior siblings and all, there was a lot more time, which was normal for them. But here we are, people want things done quickly. The movements from where I am today to where you are tomorrow is a lot faster. So we're working in a very, very fast timeline. And I think there's a place where we could actually learn how to balance, still sticking with the steps or the necessary processes that we need to work towards getting to achieve or be who you are, and also balance up with a fast-paced world. For example, the startup world is so fast now that an idea comes, you're pushing from ideation to having your products in the next couple of weeks.
I'm telling you,
vibe coding, or you're pushing your developer to just
no code. I mean, we use no code to build our marketplace.
Okay, I've done that a couple of times. I mean, literally on project architecture where I work, I do not have the time to sit down for a week now and try to build something. I see how we can automate and speed up the process generally. The ideation and thinking stage of that obviously is done without AI on my end. But when it comes to putting things together, putting thoughts together, our brains are already wired towards that generally. And I get the rush for you because everything seems to be, oh my God, let's get it done and all. But I think she's trying to say that there's a place of general balance where we can understand that in spite of the speed that is going on, the basic principles of life, they don't change. The basic principles of business and of growth, they will not change.
The fundamentals are the fundamentals.
Will not change generally. There's something you mentioned about, I think there's a part in the podcast where you mentioned, somebody who, the little breakthroughs that happen when young people just move from point A to point F in just a blink of an eye. One of the truths I've realized about such things, people just probably blowing up, is the principles you've not learned, you will still come back to learn them.
Yes.
Such is life.
And I think a good way to explain this would be to kind of differentiate between effectiveness and efficiency. So I do some, some trainings for companies, right? For staff, right? And so I try to explain like a lot of things. So to be effective is to know how to do the work.
Okay.
To be efficient is to know how to do the work fast. Right? So for example, now I'm not going to, the technical person that we're working with It's not a developer,
Yeah.
but he's an AI guy. Do you understand? So what I've done is I've called him and I've said that all this is good. You're an AI guy. Let's do no code, but you must know how to do. You must know how to write code.
Yeah.
How do we start to get courses? How do we put you in the right kind of circle? Do you understand? For you to get you must both be. If not, when AI writes wrong code or gives you, you won't be able. If you see a design that was made by AI, and if a good graphics designer,
them, by the way,
if you see a good graphics designer, he can immediately tell you this is what is wrong with this design. This is what is wrong with this design. But when he uses AI to make a design, like someone who knows how to do graphics, uses AI to now make graphics, it's beautiful.
True.
It's beautiful.
True.
It's beautiful. Or you meet someone who is, let's say you want to employ someone and maybe the person is supposed to handle finances.
Yeah.
So it's different when somebody says, oh, I know how to use accounting software. And I know how to do accounting. I know the fundamental principles of accounting. Do you get?
Yeah.
I'd rather pick someone who doesn't have, it's not tech savvy, and then teach the person, but the person knows the work.
Yeah.
Yes, and then school the person, put the person in a series of trainings that then allows the person to then know how to use tech to then simplify the work. But the fundamental of the work is the fundamental of the work. Let me tell us the honest truth. If you want everything fast, that's how your wealth will come fast and it will go fast. Oh my goodness gracious. It will come fast and it will go fast. And as young people, it's very difficult. We don't even want to hear that part.
No, we don't want to hear.
We don't want to hear that part, but that is the God's honest truth. You don't, every single thing that is of winning, every single trait, every single character strength that you have takes time to build. You can't cut that process or those series of processes short. You absolutely cannot. Like he said, if you don't do it, if you don't follow the normal, you will still come back. You go and make all the money that you want to make. You still come back and your body will tell you.
Let's dive a little bit into finances.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think this is one of the things that we struggle to balance a whole lot. So something you mentioned about you charge $50K. By the way, the margin of $50K to $10,000 is something that you'd give testimony in church.
Yeah, that's true.
You wouldn't know how to. It's something funny just popped into my head, but I will not go into there generally. With how tough the African economy is right now, what is the biggest financial mistake a young builder can make in 2026?
Living above your means. I think that's like the king. And a lot of us, do it.
Yeah.
Right? We live way above our means.
Are you living under your means, or you're living in tandem with your means?
I heard something before, and I think I agree with it. If you cannot buy something twice, you don't need it.
Okay.
Like if I say to myself, oh, I need an iPhone 17 Pro Max now, if I can't buy it twice, I don't really need it.
Wow.
If I can't comfortably buy it twice, do you get? I don't. Do you get?
Okay.
So when I say living above you, I don't mean except for maybe it's a content creator, it's your work tool, all of those things. But anything that when I say living above your means, and it's onto what's it called? It's onto, I don't want to use the word show.
Okay.
Right. But like that, we're so obsessed with showmanship. Right. And that has nothing to do with excellence.
Okay.
Do you understand? It has absolutely nothing to do with excellence. Do you get? When you're saying, okay, no, obviously there's a way that I know that I'm perceived.
Okay.
Do you get?
Yeah.
There's a standard that I hold myself up to, but I'm not living above. I would never. If it's weak, say never.
That's wicked.
You will never, you'll never see me do such a thing, right? So I think that is one thing that really plagues
Yeah.
our generation.
Generation.
Do you understand? Like the hunger to be perceived a certain kind of way, and not in a healthy way, right? But in a way that is very, very, many people are living in debt. Like, I'm telling you the honest truth. I know people who use really good,
Yeah.
devices. You get. But they are like urgent 2K. If I just feel see urgent, I'm go and sell that device. Sell that device. If you need to do that to start something
Yeah.
sustainable, do it.
Okay.
Do it. Fast yourself of what's it called? The perception, the unhealthy perception, right? Anywhere you see me, you know that I'm excellent. I don't need to carry, whatever it is. So I think yes. That's the one mistake that we make.
Let's tilt a little bit more to financial
Okay.
mistakes
Okay.
generally in businesses. So if I was to ask myself this question back, I would say, with how tough the economy is right now, what are the biggest financial mistakes a young builder makes in business generally? There's a thing of starting too many things at the same time and splitting everything you have across them. One of the things that is predominant in our generation now is doing a lot of things. I mean, I'm multi-talented. I can do this. I can sing. I can write. I want to have a startup. I mean, everybody wants to have a startup. I want to have a startup. I want to run a clothing line. I also probably have one or two things that I can drop ship or sell and all of that. And trust me, the economy does not help a person stick to one thing currently. I think it's one of the advices that we received from the previous generation that we hold in tandem with the times that we're facing, which is also another thing to mention. A lot of the things that happened in the past, which I mentioned before, bringing them into where we are now, we see a lot of generational changes happening so fast in the sense, so ideally finding a single stable job in Nigeria
It's hard.
now
It's not possible.
it's not possible. It's
It
not
doesn't-
possible. Finding a single job that can cut across every single thing you want to do in a generation where our dreams have tripled.
Yeah.
Like the things we want to do and we want to achieve has tripled, which is a very, very good thing. I started a series on LinkedIn. I write on LinkedIn so good. I started a series on LinkedIn earlier in the week where I was talking about youth development in Africa and how much our situations and problems have enabled us to be a lot more creative. And so if we measure the creativity index now and then, there are certain things we have now, certain circumstances we face now that has helped us have the overall edge from the past. But the past still has a lot of implementation success than we do where we are right now. There's a dopamine effect of starting something and stopping that.
Yes.
A lot of us, are so stuck in our generation, or but away from all of that, we live in a place where it is very, very easy to cook up an idea, want to have it done by the next week. You have something else you want to do, and all of that. And I think one of the biggest mistakes or issues with that is it has a way of liquidating our finances a lot faster, also without an adequate place of balance. So currently, I am working at a nonprofit in the US, New York. Number one. Number two, I have a business that I'm running earlier. I also am working at a fintech and all. You see, so one of the things I actually found out and learned to do is see how I streamline my income across things that are not clashing or matching. For example, I'm working in a nonprofit, and then I'm also working remotely in a business, in a fintech also. Then I have a business that I'm doing. So I'm effectively able to spread out my time, spread out my income through things that are not clashing in any set of way. So I have things that I have something one that I've started up. Okay, I have a place that I'm working as an auxiliary to support finances and all of that. I still have goals and distance I'm running towards at the same time. You see, so what I'm trying to say is, in our generation, we have a way of wanting to be everywhere and to do everything generally. There is a high influx of volunteering roles in Africa where I see a lot of people volunteer for every opportunity that comes up.
Okay, I think for that one, there's a balance. Right?
Okay.
I know people who amazing things have come out of volunteering. You understand? I think the major thing that we should consider as young people, maybe two things. And the first one is if you're a multi-potentialite,
Yeah.
right? Or let's say like with volunteering now, you're in
Mm-hmm.
a lot of, I think that what is essential to know is first of all, is that there's nothing like balance. What you want to aspire to is integration,
Okay.
right?
So another way to look at it, yeah.
Yeah, it's integration. It's and which will point me to my second point, which is
Okay.
about competence and capacity,
Mm.
right? So I always differentiate these two things. Your capacity is how many things can I handle?
Mm-hmm.
You understand? And then your competence now points to how good am
Am
I at
I?
doing, each and every one of these
Yeah.
things, right? Once you have competence and capacity and you're very, very skilled with integration. Now, what I mean by integration is, so I started my nonprofit first. When I started my nonprofit, I was